Welcome everybody to the gut health and weight loss class. We're going to be learning how we can sustainably lose weight by optimizing your gut health. So this is going to be a completely different approach to weight loss than you have seen. And I'm going to be going into that a bit more in just a little bit, but just for those of you who don't know me yet, if you haven't been to the classes before, my name is Melanie. I live in Switzerland, but I'm originally from the United States. I am a gut health coach, which explains why I'm so passionate about gut health. But I actually became a gut health coach because I myself suffered from very serious, very difficult gut health issues. And they actually kind of away from where I was living in the Dominican Republic. I had to leave. So this topic is very close to my heart because of my own struggles. But as far as weight loss, that topic is also very close to my heart because it's something that my family, since I can remember, has struggled with, grandparents and a lot of my family members, including my very close family members. So it's a topic that I really care about, and I've seen the struggle not only physically but also how it takes a toll emotionally and mentally. And I've seen how, including in the training that I did to be a gut health coach, there's so much contradicting information in regards to weight, having a healthy weight, achieving a healthy weight, and weight loss. And there's so many different diets out there and so many crazy things that I really wanted to make this class so that way you guys can see it really is something super simple. And the key is actually in our gut. So to start off, I want you guys to type in the chat box, what have you heard about weight loss? So like, what words come up for you when you hear the word weight loss? I'm going to tell you guys some that come up very quick on Google and also on Instagram. They're words like deprivation, restriction, calorie counting, eat less, exercise more, always being hungry. Yes. No sugar, diet, cardio, counting calories, diet restriction, always being hungry. Yes, low carbs. This is what we're always hearing about losing weight. It sounds like yucky food, exercise like crazy, bad moods. Oh yes. This is what weight loss is linked to. So in general, the idea of weight loss is connected to a very negative connotation. And the objective of this class, my objective with this class, is to completely change your outlook on weight loss. And I know that's a bit of a big statement, but I'm really hoping that by the end of this class, you feel completely different about weight loss and see it as something that's achievable, that's sustainable, that's simple, and something that's and a lot more, and understand a lot more what's going on in the body. So perfect. Let's go ahead and continue on here. So the question is, how is the gut connected to weight loss? So the main topic here has to do with the gut, but for those of you who haven't been here for the other classes, I just wanted to briefly go over what is the gut. And you guys can put in the chat box, what have you heard about the gut? What to you guys is the gut? When you hear gut health, what does that mean? If it doesn't mean anything to you, you can write that down too. Probiotics, second brain, microbiome, second brain, lots of probiotics. This is the first thing that people think of, and I thought of too when it comes to gut health. Stomach issues. Okay, so the gut is actually a complex community of bacteria, viruses, microbes, good ones that should outnumber the bad ones, that do the work of digesting your food and synthesizing the nutrients. So what does that mean? From the moment that the food goes into your mouth, and even before then, once you start smelling the food, and then when you see the food, there's always already a process going on in your body, in your digestive system, creating enzymes to be able to digest your food. Some of these are created in your mouth, some in your stomach, and some in the intestines. But the big work that is done is actually not in your mouth chewing. It's not in your stomach breaking down the food. Even though all of these steps are super important, the really big job is done in the gut, and that's in the intestines. So in the intestines, these little bacteria, microbes, they try to eat the food, try to digest this food by eating it and feeding off of it, and then creating these molecules that actually benefit us, that make us feel good, and that can help for the body to continue to do its normal processes in a good and simple and easy going way. Now, when your gut health is off, when these little microbes aren't in good health, then there's this huge domino effect that literally affects every single part of your health, which is why this is part 5 of the gut health series. It not only affects your digestion, like I talked about in part 1, not only affects your brain, like I talked about in part 2, your hormones, whether that be women hormones or whether that be blood sugar hormones or thyroid hormones or energy, things like this. It literally affects every single thing, including our weight. So where is this connection with the gut and weight? So there's a lot of different connections, but I'm just going to mention to you guys a couple. The first one is the hormones that regulate your hunger. So even though diet culture, like diets and a lot of these books and posts and stuff that we see want to make us feel that the reason why you can't lose weight is because you don't have enough willpower, in reality, it has much more to do with your hormones and the way that your body is wired. It's not that you can't control yourself, it's that there's hormones that are controlling the way that you act. So these hormones that regulate your hunger, whether that be to tell you that you're hungry or whether that be to tell you that you're full, a lot of them are created in the gut. So if the gut is imbalanced, then these hormones will be off and you'll either be too hungry, or sometimes it can be that you're not hungry at all. It can make you feel like you're never full enough. And so therefore we see how there's a connection there now with our weight. So there's 2 hormones that really regulate hunger, and they're called ghrelin and leptin. And all you need to know about these hormones is just that they regulate this, whether you're hungry and whether you're full. So when we eat the typical American diet, so what the general American person eats, this food does not nourish these good bacteria in your gut. And if the good bacteria in your gut are not nourished, then they can't regulate these hormones. Your body cannot regulate the hunger and the fullness properly, because it's all off because of these little microbes. So this is really important. Probably one of the most important connections with the gut and our hormones. The other one has to do with cortisol and insulin, which we're going to go into a little bit more. But this has to do, when you think of insulin, I'm sure you think of blood sugar, you think of diabetes, but this is a hormone that we all have and that we all need in a certain measure. And so we're going to talk about how that affects weight gain and weight loss in just a little bit. Cortisol is a hormone that regulates stress in the body, which we really need, We cannot live without cortisol. But again, it needs to be in this regulated area. And the gut impacts this regulation of cortisol and insulin as well. So this hormone and gut connection that affects our hunger is that first way that it's so important for our gut to be in good standing in order to be able to lose weight. Another more simpler way that our gut is connected to our weight has to do with bowel movements. So crazy. We know we have to go. We know that we have to go regularly, but why is this so important for weight loss and just having a healthy weight? Well, it's crucial for the body through bowel movements to eliminate the toxins that are in our body. If you can't eliminate these toxins, then they accumulate in the body and they interfere with your feeling, with your ability to feel well and your ability to lose weight. So again, gut issue, constipation, again, if you suffer from this, it can also affect your ability to lose weight. Okay, so let's go a little bit into these different reasons why we can't lose weight. So for those of you who feel like you've tried it all, let me know. You can raise your hand if you're feeling brave enough, like in the comments, put yes. If you feel like you've tried so many different things to lose weight, maybe books, maybe classes, maybe a diet that a friend recommended, let me know in the comments if you guys have tried a lot or if you haven't tried anything yet because you're overwhelmed. I want to know how you guys are feeling. You've done so many that you can't count. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, a lot. Yes, I feel like I've tried everything and can't drop a pound just since I turned 50. Yeah. I actually have a client that's was feeling the same way. Now, I'll be talking about her in just a little bit. Every diet I have tried left me sluggish and feeling ill. Yes. Okay. So that's another thing. We want to, be healthy. I'm sure that all of you guys want to lose weight. If that's your objective to lose weight, it's not just to lose the weight and feel bad. It's to lose weight so you can feel better, so you can feel healthy, so you can have energy. Tell me that's how you're feeling. It's not just about the number. We do want to feel good in our body, but we don't want to feel bad. We don't want to be miserable. Do you want to be able to lose weight and feel great at the same time? Feel the best possible. Yes, Ellie. Exactly. That's the objective. So why is it that we can't lose weight? Yeah. Okay. And this connection with feeling tired, I'm going to be talking about this too. Also connecting to not being able to lose weight. I want to go in a shop and not buy stretchy clothes. Yes. Lose weight and feel comfortable and healthy. Yes, exactly. So it's not just to lose the number. We really want to feel good in our body, in our mind, and be healthy. And even when it doesn't come to weight, that's the reason why we want to make any kind of healthy choices in our life, or any kind of changes into our lifestyle, is really to feel good, feel confident, yes, and have the energy to really enjoy life. So let's get back to this question. Why can't I lose weight? So this is something that I hear a lot of my clients say. They've tried many different things and they feel like they can't lose the weight, even though they're eating healthier, they're working out. It's just not going down. The number's not going down. It's stuck. There's a couple reasons that I want to share with you guys in the class. Not all of them, because we definitely don't have enough time for that, but some of the most important ones that will make the biggest changes for you guys. Let's see here. I think we're gonna, go to the next slide. So here are two big reasons why sometimes the weight just won't come off. Something called insulin resistance, and something that I know you all know is stress. So for insulin resistance, since it is a word that I myself didn't know about until doing my gut health coaching formation, I want to explain just a little bit what it is, because when we hear insulin, at least if you're like me, the only people I think of is people that have diabetes and how they have to inject insulin. But this hormone is extremely important for all of us. Not only if you have diabetes, of course, it's even more important at this point, but before we get to that point, it's really important. Now, we all know, we all have heard, I'm sure, that sugar is not our best friend when it comes to losing weight. But why is there this connection between sugar and weight? It has to do with the hormone of insulin. So sugar promotes high levels of insulin, this hormone insulin. So the more sugar you eat, the more insulin your body releases. Now, when you eat too much sugar, which is very easy to do on a typical American diet because sugar is added to literally every single thing you can imagine. Too much as insulin is produced to try to keep your blood sugar balanced. But when this happens over and over again, your body starts to not be able to read what's going on. And then the insulin doesn't work like it's supposed to. It doesn't help the cells absorb the sugar so you can use it for energy. And the consequences of this include depression, dementia, heart disease, even cancer. But what we're talking about now, weight gain. Weight gain is a huge reflection of insulin resistance. And with insulin resistance, it's really interesting the specific kind of weight gain that you'll have. And it's usually around your midsection. If you're having issues with, like, you're losing weight, but it seems like your midsection just won't go down, this is highly linked to having issues with insulin resistance. Now, once you have insulin resistance, once this hormone is all out of whack because of imbalanced sugar, which not only has to do with the sugar that we consume, like refined sugar, added sugar, but depending on how sensitive your body is, certain kinds of foods that turn into sugar that could be healthy for some people, like whole grains, but these same foods for certain other people could cause too much spike in insulin. Is it like once you're in that state, there's no way to go back? No, there's so much we can do. And it's actually easily reversed by adding things such as movement, relaxation, even certain supplements, and nourishing your body with the foods that it likes. And this is going to be different for everybody. We're going to talk a little bit more about food in just a little bit, but let me know if that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat box about insulin resistance. Did that make sense? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes or a no. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm glad it's making sense. Feel free to let me know if it's not, because sometimes I get like so caught up in this stuff. I get so excited. Okay, so it looks like good. It's all thumbs up and yeses in the comments. So let's move on now to stress. What does stress have to do with stubborn weight? Okay, so I'm sure you guys have heard of the term fight or flight. So that response of the body when it's in high stress is like, okay, either you're going to fight or you're going to run away from the problem. It's this like exhilarating feeling when you're in this high stress state, which is necessary for acute problems, like when you're in a car accident or when you break your arm or something like this. You do need your stress levels in your body to go up, because this is what's going to help you act in that moment. But again, with the connection between the gut and weight, our digestion and the process of weight loss takes place not during the fight or flight part of our body, but when it's in the parasympathetic or in the resting state. So if your body is always feeling that it's under stress, with, again, talking about the hormone cortisol, which is what regulates our stress, we need it, but we can't have it super high all the time. If this is super high all the time in our body, then we can't digest and synthesize and utilize the nutrients from our food as well. And we can't lose weight. Losing weight is actually pretty intense on the body as far as the process goes. Kind of like digestion. It takes a lot of energy from the body. So it can't do this if it feels like it's in danger. And that's what the stress reaction is for. If we're in this stressful state, the body is thinking, okay, we're like in an emergency situation here. Stop all this other stuff. I don't need to be losing weight right now. I don't need to be digesting my food. I need to survive. So if it's always in this state, then you can see the issues with having this stubborn weight that won't come off. Another thing, when it comes to stress, like what is it that will put the body into this stressful, constant stressful state? Not only is it internal, makes a lot of sense. I'm so glad you think so. Even though it's not just external stresses, it's actually also internal stresses as well. So what are some examples of external and internal stress that can cause this issue with stubborn weight and these high levels of stress in the body? Internally, it could be things like food intolerances and sensitivities. This is a huge one, and I've seen that with the clients that I worked with. Sometimes these unknown food intolerances and food sensitivities can be causing stress in the body because it's trying to deal with something that it doesn't like. And then that causes an elevated level of stress in the body because there's inflammation that's going on because the body doesn't know what to do with this food that it doesn't like. Another thing internally that can cause stress in the body is uncontrolled diseases like diabetes and thyroid. If these are not under control, they create inflammation in the body, and inflammation tells the body that it's under stress. So what are some external factors? This is going to be shocker. Too much exercise can be a source of stress for the body. If the body feels like the exercise, when it's like pushing, yes, environmental toxins as well, Katie, is also an external factor. But when it comes to too much exercise, is something that I've seen also with my clients, and I'm going to share with you guys some stories in just a little bit. But the body doesn't register the exercise as something that's actually supposed to be stress relieving, actually that's supposed to be helping you feel better. It reads it as something that's dangerous because it's like, this is too much. I can't handle this. If you're feeling like completely exhausted and depleted and like hating every second of exercise that you're doing, it's a stress on the body, and you're not going to lose weight because the body cannot lose weight under stress. Other external factors can also be like things that stress us emotionally, like trauma or bad work environment, or problems in relationship, like if you're married or with who you're living with. These are all things that can also cause stress. So insulin resistance, stress, two big keys as far as why you can't lose weight if you're struggling with stubborn weight loss. Now, the last thing I want to share with you guys is sleep. So we all know we have to sleep. It's super important, right? Everybody says it's so important to sleep. It's so important to sleep. But what does sleep have to do with weight? So going back to these two hormones, ghrelin and leptin, so the hormones that are created in the gut and in your body to regulate how hungry you are, if you're hungry, if you're full, if you're not full. These hormones, they are totally thrown off by lack of sleep. And it's crazy because you did a study where they found that like, if you have 5 nights where you don't sleep good enough, you are actually more prone to eat like a whole day's worth of calories more because of this lack of sleep. So your body, it doesn't know if it's full, it thinks it's hungry all the time with lack of sleep. And then you see this issue with stubborn weight loss or continuous weight gain, even if you're eating healthier, even if you're doing exercise. So sleep is also really important when it comes to losing weight. Yes, super interesting. I'm glad you find it. So let me know if you guys have any questions so far. My body reacts so differently when I prioritize sleep. Yes, definitely. So let's talk about, so we've seen, okay, food sensitivities, addressing that cause stress. So anything that can cause internal or external stress, being able to address that, being able to address insulin sensitivity, resistance. So, you know, that having to do with finding a movement routine that works well for us, that makes us feel good, nourishing our body with foods that it loves. Does this approach really work? Does it really work to be, if you really focus, instead of counting calories, instead of exercising every single day for an hour, even though you feel terrible, does this approach where you find, you know, the foods that your body enjoys, where you find movement that you enjoy, that makes you feel better, where you manage your stress internally and externally, does this approach really work? Or do people really lose weight by doing that instead of, you know, doing Weight Watchers or counting calories or eating nothing and feeling hungry all the time? Yes, it does. And the reason why I say yes is because I've seen it time and time again with the clients that I've helped. So I'm going to tell you guys about a couple of different clients situation, not their names because of privacy, but for example, I had one client, she's in her young 20s. She had an extreme addiction to Starbucks. So, and not just like a basic coffee, like the most sugary drink that you can think of. Let me know if you guys know this struggle of really knowing something is probably not the best for you, but not being able to feel like you have the control to stop. So she was having this every single day, really hard time with controlling her cravings. She would start a bag of chips and always finish it and maybe even grab more. So it was really hard. Chocolate and chips. Yeah, exactly. Coke. Yes. I also have a client that struggled with having a Coke every single day, or even Diet Coke every single day. So were they able to get over this by using this approach? Yes. So for example, this girl, she doesn't struggle with binge eating anymore. She's more motivated to make healthier choices. She says she has no more cravings. She can decide what she wants to eat and not feel like this extreme, overpowering force, just by healing her gut and doing taking care of stress, taking care of nourishing her body in a way that it enjoys, and working on these you know, cravings and these addictions with super sugary things in a very sustainable and soft way. So she did not go from, you know, one drink every single day or two drinks every single day to zero the next week. We did it over the process of weeks, but by the end of the time we worked together, she had achieved not being able to not have any of this during the week, not have to deal with the binge eating, like feeling like she had to keep snacking the whole time, and not being able to stop. And she felt so much more in control. She was so happy. Another client in their 40s, I want to say 40s. I don't like to ask the age sometimes, but I want to say she's in her 40s. She also had issues nonstop snacking on sweets. She had a lot of issues with her midsection that made her feel not as confident with herself. And so after working together, her midsection slimmed down so much that to the point where everybody was noticing. Everybody's asking her, "What are you doing? You look great. Like your stomach has gone down so much." And she's like, "I felt it, but I thought maybe it was just me." And she's like, "But now everybody's telling me the same thing." So now she's loving what she's eating. She feels great. And something that she struggled with, that didn't really have to do so much with weight, was joint pain. She had issues with joint pain and also skin, a lot of skin issues. And both of these, her joint pain completely went away and her skin issues really calmed down so much. Okay, then there's a couple I want to talk to you guys about. They were eating pretty healthy. They struggled a little bit with eating out. In less than 4 weeks into the program, they've collectively lost 15 pounds combined. The pain, they had a lot of body pain. It's pretty much disappeared. So much more mental clarity, less mood swings, more energy. They can get out of bed and get started with the day, which sometimes I see with weight loss, like people want to exercise, they want to eat healthier, they want to make these changes, but they don't have the energy to do this. So we worked on getting the energy first and then being able to implement movement and implement other things that would help them reach their goal. It sounds like your story, Angeles. Yes, so, and joint pain and skin issues, bored eat. Yes, eating when you're bored, eating when you're stressed, eating when you're sad. There is a saying that I heard that really like strung a chord with me, which was, now we don't eat to fill a hole in our stomach, we eat to fill a hole in our heart. So a lot of times I've seen also this connection with emotions and eating. And so being more aware of what we're feeling when we're hungry, or when we think we're hungry, when we're reaching for the bag of chips, when we're reaching for the tub of ice cream. Are we feeling lonely, or are we feeling hungry, or are we feeling lonely? Are we feeling hungry, or are we feeling sad, stressed, or what's going on emotionally? So that's something else. That's also a really big key to being, yeah, super deep. I thought the same thing. Okay, another client. One last one. She struggled with stubborn weight. She was the person who has tried every diet since she was in her 20s, every single diet. And sometimes she would lose the weight, but she would gain it all back. And it got to the point that no matter, even though she wasn't changing her eating habits, year after year, her weight would just continue to go up and go up. Now we're still working together, but she's already lost 8 pounds. She has so much more energy. She doesn't have to, before she would have to like take breaks during the day to like rest, to then be able to continue to clean, or be able to continue to cook, or continue to do the things that she had to do. And now she can get through her whole day. She has the energy to get through the whole day, not only do what she like barely has to do, like the bare necessities, she can get everything done and even work out and feel great by the end of the day without being completely exhausted. I lied. This is the last one I want to tell you guys about. This is a client, and the reason why I want to talk about this is talking about the stress. When I was talking about stress and how working out too much can be a stress on the body as well. So this client, she was working out every single day for at least an hour, to the point where she almost felt like she was going to pass out after working out. She was miserable. She hated it, but she really wanted to lose weight. She was counting calories. She was eating very little portions, no carbs, and she was just stuck in her weight loss. She couldn't lose weight. I made you hungry now. That's funny, girl. So how did she go? What happened after implementing this into her lifestyle, these changes, and really focusing on taking care of her gut? Well, she lost 15 pounds. She had so much more energy. She felt good. She knew exactly what she needed to do to continue to achieve her weight loss goals after we finished working together. And I think for her, one of the things she told me she enjoyed the most was realizing that she didn't have to focus so much on what her body looked like and on losing this certain number, but really focus on creating health and enjoying the process. She found movement that she likes. She found food that she likes, that her body also likes, and really enjoying the process. So this approach really does work. Weight loss does not need to be, all about restriction, all about being miserable and not eating and feeling hungry all the time. all these people never needed to feel hungry and always felt full after eating their meals. So it really does work. So how do you support your gut for optimal weight then? What are, other than, so I mentioned stress management, which is extremely important. I mentioned sleep. So making sure that you're getting enough sleep. And I talked a little bit about food sensitivities and intolerances. Let me know in the comments if you guys have heard about this. Let me know yes if you know what it is, and no if you aren't really too sure what that means when someone says it's not a food allergy, it's a food sensitivity or a food intolerance. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. No. Okay. A lot of no, not sure. Yes, exactly. Maybe. Okay. So for clarification, I wanted to clarify this. Is food allergy is like when you eat something, like there's people that will eat, some shrimp and then they will like immediately have, a bunch of breakouts, go to the emergency room because they can't breathe anymore. That's not the case with a food sensitivity or a food intolerance. Food sensitivities and intolerances are much more mild, and sometimes we don't even notice them. So like for all these clients that I talked about before, they didn't know that a lot of the foods they were eating that were healthy for some people, and they made some people feel great, actually were what was causing their stubborn weight, like the fact that their weight, they couldn't lose the weight, was causing their joint pain, was causing their fatigue, was causing their headaches, was causing their diarrhea or their constipation. So knowing what foods your body, and I guess in the most simplest terms, a food sensitivity and a food intolerance, whether that be like digestive symptoms or whether that be skin issues as well, or any of these other things I mentioned, it's just your body saying that it doesn't like this food. So when I work with my clients, we help to identify what foods their body likes and enjoys, and you will know because you will feel great, you'll have energy and not have any of these crazy symptoms and start to lose weight. Or the foods that your body doesn't like, which once your body has had a break enough from all of these possibly inflammatory foods, and you're feeling great, once you start reintroducing foods, it will tell you very, very clearly what it likes and what it doesn't like. So for me, this has been probably the most crucial thing I've seen with my clients, is identifying what their body likes and what their body doesn't like. And it changes from person to person. I can't tell you, I don't even like sharing recipes sometimes because I can't, sometimes what was super healthy and makes somebody feel super great won't do the same for somebody else. Another thing to support your gut, bioindividuality, exactly, Katie. Another thing to support your gut, stress management, like I said, balancing your blood sugar. So remember, insulin resistant leads to that stubborn midsection weight that you can't lose. So eating in a way that keeps your blood sugar balanced is also super important. For stress management, the simplest thing that I like to share with everybody that you can implement like right now if you want to while you're watching this class or as soon as it's done, is to do a deep breathing. So like breathe in through your nose and into your belly, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth for 5 minutes, at least for 5 minutes. It is scientifically proven that after 5 minutes of deep breathing, this stress level, this stress hormone, cortisol that I talked about, that when it's too high constantly doesn't let you lose weight, this actually comes down after just 5 minutes of deep breathing. So this is my favorite stress management technique that I like to share with everybody. Of course, there's also things like journaling, going for walks in nature, lots of things like this. And sometimes it feels like these things are so simple, but they're actually what moves the needle the most. So talking about those daily choices, these are the things that you need to achieve in order to lose weight and to have a healthy gut, which is what's going to help you lose weight. Reduce stress, move regularly, something that you enjoy, and also at a frequency that your body enjoys and that makes it feel better. Address any food sensitivities and intolerances. Eat more whole foods. The more like not in a box, not with an ingredients list, literally just like you take the apple, there's no nutrition facts on the apple, those kinds of foods. The more of these foods that you eat, the less you'll have to worry about counting calories, and the more your gut will be happy and easier will be to lose weight. And of course, getting enough sleep. These daily choices have the biggest power in our life to reach these goals. So I promised a special offer, which now we can end the recording of the class, because the special offer is just for you guys that are here live. Let me know, Yanni, once it stopped recording. I don't remember if it leaves a for the video. Okay, thanks so much for watching this video. Just for those that are catching the recording, sorry. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to find me at melanie.muresan on Instagram. Be happy to answer any of your questions.